Charles Vincent had been sitting in his office in Paris waiting to talk to his boss for more than 2 hours. It was Friday afternoon, and he had promised his wife, Isabelle, that he'd leave the city early. He had a 3-hour drive ahead of him, the last half on narrow, rough country roads along the coast of Normandy. They had house guests at their château that weekend, friends of Isabelle's, although he knew them too. He worked late so often, and traveled so much for work, that she had a fully developed social life without him. He didn't mind. They had a wide circle of friends. She had her own, as well as a group of devoted women friends whose husbands worked as hard as Charlie, or were divorced, so Isabelle never lacked for company when Charlie was busy. She didn't mind going to events or entertaining without him, but he had promised to be there that night. It was someone's birthday, the husband of one of her friends. Isabelle had organized a weekend around them at the château. She was proud of their country home on a hill overlooking the rugged coastline and the sea. The château was beautiful. They had owned it for 10 years. Charles was the CEO of the biggest plastics manufacturer in France, Janssen Plastics. It was his second career, a reincarnation after an earlier life. The job at Janssen had saved him 11 years ago. He was waiting to meet with the owner and founder, Jérôme Janssen, 82 years old and still going strong. Janssen's only son had moved to the States years before to seek his fortune, had married an American, and had no interest in the business, nor in coming back to France or stepping into his father's shoes. He was a U.S. citizen now, as were his wife and kids. France was ancient history to him. When his son had finally made that clear to him, after he made his own fortune in the fast food business in Los Angeles and Southern California, Jérôme Janssen had set out to find a CEO who could help him run his business with intelligence and an iron hand. Jérôme Janssen owned the largest toy company in France, along with factories that made plastic products for other uses. It was a huge operation, and Charlie's path had crossed with Janssen's at the right time. Charlie's father had been a writer of considerable literary acclaim in France, but only modest commercial success, which had indirectly led Charlie into the publishing business right after college. He loved books, and everything related to them except writing. His meteoric rise had been astonishing and impressive, and he found he loved the business.